John's right.
All right, I guess I should show my face. Good evening and welcome to the Recreation and Parks and Cultural Affairs Council Committee meeting on April 12th. So we're going to start with roll call. We have Councilmember Goldstein, Councilmember Kites, and myself are present. Can we see how many people are actually, okay. So we are one council person short of having a quorum to actually vote on each item, but we will go through them. And if we do not get one additional council member, we will more than likely move these items forward to the full council. So we'll get started. Okay, so we have an approval of the minutes. Well, we can't even approve minutes because we don't have a quorum of anything. Anyone here for public participation? I'm sorry, Mr. Hughes.
Madam Chair, we have one addition to the agenda this evening.
Okay.
I'll read into the record.
Okay.
It's authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to extend the contract with Laz Parking Ltd. for parking enforcement services at Calf Pasture Beach, Shady Beach, Taylor Farm, Veterans Park, and Cranberry Park through October 15th, 2024 for an amount not to exceed $210,575, account number 014-153-5298. And that's all I have for additions.
I'd like to make a motion to add what Ken just said to the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Kites. All in favor? Okay, I guess we raise our hands. I don't
Aye.
know, but we're gonna add it. Okay.
So we may not have enough people for that either.
I know, so it just kind of, you just read it in and so we can move that forward.
Yeah.
So, okay. So next, I think we move on to public participation.
We do have some. Ms. Laratello?
Yes, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
thank you. Okay, thanks very much, Madam Chairwoman. For the record, my name is Diane Lauricella. I just wanted to make a couple of, now a few comments in my 3 minutes or roughly 3 minutes. Number one, I spoke at our recent fee public hearing, and we have terrific parks. We have great staff. Your efforts are all appreciated. However, I spoke about Cranberry Park and what I feel is kind of a loophole in out-of-towners coming into that park to park their car and walk their cute dogs and utilize our services because it's so close to the border of Wilton. While I do appreciate Mr. Hughes talking about Laz Parking being right there, I have been there for 2 hours and not seen Laz Parking. So while I do appreciate that there is a mechanism, I'm not sure it's as presented, it's quite as efficient and effective as you were presented by staff. In 2 hours, I didn't see Laz Parking, and I did see many dog people going in and out because they don't stay often for longer than an hour or two. So I still see there's a loophole there. And I do think it's only fair to taxpayers in Norwalk that we button up that loophole. I'm sorry, I just don't agree that it is all buttoned up the way it was presented by staff at the public hearing. Number two, the main, one of the items on your agenda has to do with requests for a cargo van. I just literally within the last 10 minutes emailed to Madam Chair. I did not know Mr. Kites was on there. I'll forward him, and then also Mr. Goldstein, about 3 or 4 different electric and hybrid cargo vans that are available. Ford and another company actually called Lightning makes them in America. I ask that you put this on hold unless and until this cargo van is electric or hybrid. what I keep going to when I'm available, like tonight in public hearings, Madam Chair, is that the staff from the police to the fire department to DPW and now Recreation and Parks always has a reason or an excuse that I'm sure we'll hear tonight as to why they cannot go electric. This city, in all it says in its POCD, all the work I've done for climate change and trying to reduce, the council has the means and the intent to just put your foot down and say, listen, talk to the purchasing department and say, we will no longer, unless special circumstances say so, we can no longer allow each of our departments to buy fossil fuel vans, small trucks, etc. I don't know tonight. I did look at the agenda and the backup materials. It seems like the cargo van is not electric. It didn't say whether it was. So I ask that you look at what I just sent and put it into the record for later and your minutes, because we can do that, especially because we're in an urban area. There's increasing urban air pollution, especially in South Norwalk and East Norwalk, where a lot of this van will travel. We have to get started at some point being consistent. I know we have hybrid fleet that we just started out of DPW, but I have seen many of the department heads asking for one-offs, and they are never electric. Just recently, the Board of Ed asked for a propane fueled truck. And the thing is, propane is a fossil fuel. So I'm going to ask again that we look at this. Lastly, Laz Parking is a group that we've contracted for many years. I ask that you do not put this on the agenda at the last minute. There are a lot of the public that has something to say about Laz Parking. And so to put it on the agenda at the last minute before anyone in the public has a chance to maybe comment and inform you about what kind of job they think Laz Parking is doing is unwise. Please do not fall prey to, at times, these kinds of contracts that we must do yesterday. You folks are known to take a look at these things, and the public does deserve the right to weigh in on it. I myself have issues with Laz Parking in that right now, I think they are helping reduce the abilities for small businesses in East Norwalk and South Norwalk and Old Norwalk, Wall Street especially, for our businesses to thrive, because they are vicious when they give people fines. So I really think it would behoove us to put this on hold until next month. And Laz Parking is a very controversial issue, and I think the public deserve the right to speak. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Ortella. And I was actually looking for the information you sent. I couldn't see it, so I'll look somewhere else. I have 2-minute spots. But you did send something, you said, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Anyone else? Colleen?
No, there's no one else raising their hand.
Okay. So we're going to move on to,
Oh, wait, hold on a second. There is now. Hold on 1 second.
Hello, how
Mr.
are you?
Thomas?
My name is Ted Thomas, and I'm with the Ted Thomas Dance Foundation. And I wanted to just say a couple of words about my dance performance that's going to be happening at CAF.
Yeah, we can.
is he on the agenda?
Yeah,
Mr.
he's on the
Thomas,
agenda.
are you on the
He's on the
agenda?
agenda.
So when we get to
Yes,
that,
I
you
am.
can speak to it,
Yeah,
okay?
he's on the agenda.
Okay, I didn't know that you guys, I didn't know how it was going. So
Yeah.
you're going in order.
Yeah.
Okay,
We have no one else.
All right, thank you. Okay, so on to no old business, on to new business. 5.1. First, I'll read. The city of Norwalk reserves the right to cancel the event for public health or safety reasons as determined by the city of Norwalk in its sole discretion. The city of Norwalk shall not be liable for damages arising from the cancellation of any event. 5.1, approve the use of Cranberry Park and immediate surrounding grounds by the Tiny Miracles Foundation for their Family Fun Day to be held on Sunday, May 7th, 2023, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., set up to begin at 9 a.m. Would tear down at 2:15 p.m., approximately 200 to 250 people. And who do we have to speak to this?
Should be on there. Ashley Dean, I believe. Is she available? Ashley Dean?
We don't have anybody by that name.
Okay. Yeah, apparently this is a private event that's going through our special events a process because of the number of people that they are estimating. This is a new event. It's not a public event, it's a private event. They're going to have some acoustic music, so no loudspeakers, and it's kind of for the family fun day. And we think it's okay. They're going through the special events committee, so.
Oh, okay, all right.
So we approved it, yeah.
Okay. All right, and so there was no one here to speak to that, so we'll move on to any questions that anyone has for hours, or they're not here, so we'll move on to number 2. Approve 5.2, approve the use of roadway within Calf Pasture Beach Park and immediate surrounding grounds by Norwalk Bike Walk Commission for their Calf Pasture Beach Open Street to be held on Saturday, May 13, 2023, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Setup time to begin at 7 a.m. would tear down by 2 p.m., approximately 250 people. And is that Mr. Thompson that's going to speak to that?
No, it's Tanner.
Yeah, hello,
Thompson.
Chairwoman Young, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, we can. How are
Yes, hello,
you?
Chairwoman Young, and everybody else, all the other members of the committee. Also, Ken and Robert, thanks for being there. So this is an event that the Bike Walk Commission has been planning in conjunction with Rec and Parks and with TMP, and also with the Friends of the NRVT. As you may know, the Calf Pasture Beach is the current terminus of the Norwalk River Valley Trail, which is a partially complete trail that will ultimately stretch all the way up to Danbury. The section leading to Calf Pasture Beach is currently an on-street section, meaning that we don't have a dedicated space for like a dedicated trail for walking and biking, although there are sidewalks and bike lanes that are relatively narrow. The purpose of this event is to give a more dedicated space temporarily to people walking, people biking, all other forms of micro-mobility, rollerblading, skateboarding, scootering, what have you. And to take a Saturday morning to provide a safe way, a safe and more spacious way for them to get to the beach, and also to just engender community as people come out and spend time with each other outside. The part of this that's most relevant to the committee is that part of the roadway within Calf Pasture Beach would become part of this temporary greenway during the event. I'm happy to go into more detail to whatever degree you'd like.
Thank you, Mr. Tanner. Mr. Thompson, does anyone have any questions for him, Josh? Or,
Yeah, we Parks is a co-sponsor of this event. It's our intention, and it was even last year, to try to begin biking events and walking events. Safe Streets is, I don't know if anyone's seen by the Bike Walk Commission about safe streets. But safe streets and greenways are really a thing that it's really a trend around the country to give people more space to walk and ride their bikes and to skate and to play in the streets with their children, to give them more space. And I really think it's, for the pandemic, these cities around the country really opened up their streets so that there would be more space for people to walk and get exercise and get out. And I think for in a great way, I think that kind of curtailed maybe no scientific evidence, but in a great way, they may have curtailed the growth of the spreading of COVID, because people were crowded in the parks. Parks were too crowded. When you opened the streets, it gave people more room, more space. And so I think not only during pandemics, but just in everyday life, we should give people space, particularly in the city where there's not a lot of sidewalks, not a lot of places to walk. So you know, we are in favor of this, and we're co-sponsoring this along with the Bike Walk Commission.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to add, Tanner knows very well that I'm very pro bike and walkability. In fact, actually, we did an event last year to highlight the Norwalk River Valley Trail, which Tanner, I can't believe you didn't mention this, that the missing link to the Norwalk River Valley Trail is now paved. So that's another link to
Well,
the trail.
Most of it is paved.
That's true. That's true.
We'll have a massive party when the whole thing's done. In the
That-
meantime,
that-
we are going to have a little celebration on May 6th, but that's beside the point.
Yes, and that I'm talking about the part in Norwalk. I'm not talking about all the way up. But I think this is a great, I think this is a great event. I think that improving our walkability and bikeability down the Calf Pasture is really important. In fact, actually, I biked down there this weekend, and obviously, I know that TMP's had a lot of good and interesting ideas and plans how to make this possible for permanently in the future. So I'm very pro this event, obviously. Darlene, you're on mute.
I said such lovely things about you, Mr. Thompson. I don't know if I can repeat them all. I just said thank you for all that you're doing to increase walkability and biking and mobility in the city. We've got a challenge with a lot of our streets, particularly in South Norwalk, but I think there are things that can be done. And if we're creative about it, we can create great opportunities for people in the city. So I appreciate all your efforts.
Thank you, Councilmember Young. If I can add one comment to that, my commission and also the Rec and Parks and TMP and others that we've worked with, we're all interested in doing similar events in other places in Norwalk as well, including in South Norwalk. In fact, one of the three concepts that we sketched out at the beginning was a residential street in South Norwalk. We selected Calf Pasture Beach Road as the first kind of pilot because we thought it was the most feasible, but we're absolutely interested in doing this in other places as well and not just restricting it to Calf Pasture Beach Road in the long term.
Great. Thank you. Okay, 5.3, approve the use of Calf Pasture Beach and immediate surrounding ground.
Madam Chair, they pulled this item off the agenda. This is off the agenda.
Before I even go any further. So
Thanks,
number,
Dan.
did we change the numbering? We did, right?
No,
No.
number 4 is
No.
Veterans Park.
So we removed number 3. Number 4,
Mhm.
approve the use of Veterans Park and immediate surrounding grounds by the Military and Veterans Liaison Committee for the Veterans Memorial Ceremony event to be held on Sunday, May 21st, 2023, from 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Setup time to begin at 7 a.m. with tear down at 2:30 p.m. Approximately 100 people. We have here.
Carlos Barros. Carlos Barros. He's here. You're muted.
You're muted, sir.
Hello, everybody. I'm here. Thank you for having me. The Military Liaison Committee would like to use, we usually use a Calf Pasture Beach at the Shea McGrath Memorial site, but because of the paving situation, we were requested that we use Veterans Park, and we would like to be granted permission to use Veterans Park for our annual Shea McGrath Veterans Memorial Ceremony.
Okay. We don't have any issues, so you're over there because you couldn't use the beach, so I think that's it, right?
Yeah, no issues with this. It's annual memorial, so we don't have any issues.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
No, he has another
Thank you.
one. He has another one.
Oh, you have more.
Yeah, he has
I
one
do.
more.
I have one more.
One more. Here we go. Number 5, approve the use of Veterans Park and immediate surrounding grounds by the Military and Veterans Liaison Committee for their Veterans Memorial Ceremony event to be held on Monday, May 29th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Setup time to begin at 6:30 a.m. with tear down at 12 p.m. Approximately 500 people. I don't know what you have to say about that. I think we just read it into the record. If there's anything you want to say about that, but I think we could just move on.
I just wanted to also, I'm also here because Jeff has resigned and I have taken his position as chairman of the Military Liaison Committee. And I just wanted to introduce myself to the council.
Oh, well, congratulations and nice to meet your wheel.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So now we can, I think that's it, right?
That's it.
That's it. That was
That's
the
it.
parade.
Okay, there were three?
No, that was the parade.
No, there were two.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Burrows. Have a good
Thank you
evening.
very much. You too. Thank you.
5.6 is a technical correction. Approve the use of Oyster Shell Park and immediate surrounding grounds by Nice Inc. for their 7th annual Nice Festival event to be held on Saturday, July 8th, 2023, from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Set up to begin on Friday, July 7th at 6 a.m. with tear down on Monday, July 10th by 10 p.m. Approximately 500 plus people.
Madam Chair, this was just a change of the setup time on Friday, July 7th.
Okay.
That's why it's just a technical correction.
Thank you. 5.7, approve the use of Calf Pasture Beach and immediate surrounding grounds by Ted Thomas Dance Foundation for their Fairfield County Dance Festival to be held on Wednesday, July 12th, 2023, from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Setup time to begin at 8 a.m. with tear down at 9 p.m. Rain date Wednesday, July 26th, approximately 200 people.
Okay, we're ready for Ted Thomas.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry for the
That's
abrupt interjection. Yes, this is a dance concert that we've been doing around Fairfield County. It's modern dance and some cultural dance and ballet. We'll have we're working with Sabrina and the Parks Department because we're going to now taking over a space in their what used to be their jazz festival on our jazz concerts that happened on Wednesday. So this year we're going to present some contemporary and classical dance on a Wednesday night. And we're going to have, we have our own portable stage that we put up, and we had requested power from the space. Sabrina and Sarah, I think is her name, said that they would, we would coordinate and kind of figure out where the appropriate space is, because you guys have a stage there, but it's not large enough for dance. So we're going to put it somewhere near the stage, that same stage or in that same space, something that's comparable and we would be good for visual, and enjoyment. It's going to happen in the evening time and will be done by dusk because we don't want, it's just easier to take down the stage with a little bit of light. So we should be done by like 8:30. I had sent a brochure. I don't know if I can share with you guys any pictures or something from festivals we've done at different in different towns. We've actually done the festival in Stamford, in Darien, in Westport, in Norwalk. We did it last year at Matthews Park.
Matthews
Yeah.
Park.
And it was a great success. We had a lot of people out there, and it was it was well received. And because of we was trying to go back there this year, but because of the construction, they said, it's off limits. But this Calf Pasture Beach venue, actually, we feel will give us a little bit more visibility and have more people who are just kind of walking by and seeing the concert. So I think it'll be a great event.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I know you were here last year and I missed it, but I definitely want to catch it this year. And I did hear good things. So So I do have a question. I heard you say, did you say dance festival or jazz festival? What
No,
sort?
it's a dance festival.
Okay.
But Sabrina told me that last year in the same time slot, you guys had a Wednesday jazz kind of music kind of thing happening. And so she said that that this is the slot that they were giving me. So just to give you guys a kind of a inkling of what time frame within your past schedule this was going to fall into.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think Sandy's been working.
Sandy, that's her name.
Sandy's been working with him, and also have a opportunity to maybe do some instructional dancing with some youth. She felt like, and I kind of agree with her that maybe we have the same number of jazz festivals this year, but maybe we don't have one at Calf Pasture. We have them more in the community. So that's what he's adhering to.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to explain more about my program.
Absolutely. You're welcome. 5.8, approve the use of Calf Pasture Beach, Shady Beach, Marvin School sites, Taylor Farm, and immediate surrounding grounds by National Marine Manufacturers Association for their 2023 Norwalk Boat Show to be held on Thursday, September 21st to Sunday, September 24th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Friday to Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Setup time to begin on Thursday, September 21st, with tear down at 5:30 p.m. on Sunday. Approximately 15,000 plus people. Who's that? Who's speaking to that?
That would be me.
Hello,
Mr.
Mr. Pritko.
How are you?
I'm well.
Good evening, Madam Chair and members of council. We believe that the buyout keeps us competitive in the market. A lot of other pop-up shows in Connecticut market are offering free parking, and we want to continue to do that with our constituents. But our main goal here too is to streamline and expedite the traffic flow while minimizing the impact on the local residents. And we think we're achieving that year over year and improving. And Ken, maybe you can speak on that, but I feel like every year, this would be year number 3, but we improve every year on how we approach this, and then the experience that everybody has, and hopefully the local community feels the same way.
Mr. Stowers or Mr. Hughes, you have any other comments?
Yeah, I mean, although this is not really a city event per se, we do work hand in hand with the boat show. They do use our parking lot, and obviously, the down Beach Road, which is important to residents. So they're very cooperative. Anything I ask, they get done. Our gate staff works with their traffic folks as well as the PD to hold a seamless event.
Okay. So, Mr. Pritko, just for some folks who might not know, how many years has this boat show been held in the city of Norwalk?
I knew you were going to ask me that, so I did my math.
Yes.
This is year 44, calendar year 44. It could be 45 actually, but obviously there was 2 years that we actually didn't have it. 1 year was because of COVID.
Amazing. And it's a huge, draw to the city of Norwalk, and the 44 years is just a testament to your commitment to providing recreational opportunities for residents and folks from around the area who come to the boat show. So appreciate those 44 years. I'm sure you weren't there the whole 44 years, were you? Or we're going to call it the Pritko boat show.
Well, I would have been about 6 years old when I started.
Okay.
So.
All right, sir. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
5.9, approve the use of Calf Pasture Beach and immediate surrounding grounds by Mountain Workshop for their team building positive school climate programs to be held on Friday, September 29th, 2023, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Setup time to begin at 7 a.m. with tear down at 4 p.m. approximately 180 people.
This was just an additional date, Madam Chair. If you remember from last meeting, he only had one of his dates on the agenda. So this
Right.
was the second date. So he's actually not here tonight, but this is the amount workshop we have consistently at the beach.
At the beach, yep.
Mhm.
510, authorize the purchasing agent to issue a purchase order for the sole source purchase of a 2023 Ford Transit cargo van for a price not to exceed $59,274.50 off state contract number noted from accounts number noted. And then I'm just going to read 10A, authorize a purchasing agent to issue a change order on purchase order for a total not to exceed 10% from original price from accounts noted. Anything to
Go
say
ahead,
about
go
that?
ahead, Keith.
So, yeah, I can speak on this, Madam Chair. So just so, the committee understands, I have an email here from the head of fleet and municipal sales for Ford, and I'll just read you the email. And this was to our fleet manager, Joel Graham. I can give you a 2023 budget price quote, and this is regarding an electric vehicle. I can give you a 2023 budget price quote. However, the 2023 order bank closed last fall. It would probably be 2 years before you would see your truck, and the order would not be price protected. Let me know if you still want a quote. So we are looking at avenues to go electric, but we're unable to get vehicles. This one was, they said 2 years, and this is the dealer saying 2 years. We're currently renting vehicles because we don't have enough. So I was paying $3,000 a month to rent vehicles. So I can't float that for another 2 years while we wait for this electric vehicle to come in. I know we were sent some literature on vehicles that were found online, but those aren't always the specs that our fleet manager looks for when he specs out a city owned vehicle. So what he does is he gives our fleet and municipal sales rep for Ford a spec sheet on what we need, and then he lets us know what's available. And that's how we purchase, fleet vehicles for the city.
Any questions from Dr. John?
I think I realize we've run out into this issue now a number of times where we're dealing with sort of the practical realities, especially when it comes to fleet purchase of vehicles versus the goal of, frankly, getting us closer to a more sustainable and hopefully a more cost-saving vehicle fleet. I guess my question is, and frankly, Ken, this really isn't just for you because it's not just one department, whether I think one thing we need to think about as a city is what's our plan to implement this, knowing that it might be a couple years out before we start getting it in fleet packages. And also understanding, and I realize that there are probably vehicles that are comparable that are already out there, but I know that within the way we do contracting and the way we do vehicle purchasing contracting, it may not sync up quite yet. I just think that as a overall city policy and goal, I think that all the departments that purchase vehicles need to start actively thinking about how we're going to make this transition, or at least even to get things like hybrids, frankly, to just inch our way there. And frankly, thinking about, and I know for certain vehicles, it's not tenable, for others, sort of that charging infrastructure.
Mhm.
I disagree with the notion of we should hold off right now until we try and purchase a one-off electric. I think that's the wrong short-term move. However, I do think that we need to think about how, frankly, how we need to adhere more to the long-term goal that we've expressed to the public. And I think we can do better.
Yep, and I agree. And I think a commitment needs to be made where, we need to place an order for 5 or 6 vehicles right now. So we will have those, 2 or 3 years down the road.
Yes.
The problem is, go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
I was gonna say, the issue then becomes the cost. I mean, the F-250 electric is $110,000. So I would need, $500,000 right now to purchase vehicles that I would get 2.5 years down the road.
Agreed, which is why I understand that, which is why I'm saying I think we need an actual strategic plan, frankly, to deal with this.
I agree.
And because there are these practical and economic issues, you know, certainly associated with that. I see that my colleagues' hands up, so I give them an opportunity on this one.
Mr. Cadiz?
Yeah, I mean, I just had to chime in. I mean, I hear such a divide, or not so much divide on the goal to go electric between city staff and the council. It's just like this ongoing conversation. I think both sides want electrical green cars, but yet we keep having this conversation where we know either the technology isn't there, the cost. I mean, there's all these factors that come into play that are not allowing us to buy. And I get a strategic plan. I mean, I've been doing this 10 years, and I can tell you that strategic plan, not to be Debbie Downer, is they don't come around too often as far as paying for something now for 3 years from now. Just our financial structure, I believe, isn't set up for that. I don't know. I guess I'm just venting more. I get it. Politicians, you know, we're going to be like, okay, we know we want green. We do want green. You guys want green. Everyone wants green. But for all these reasons we just spoke about, we can't have green right now. I guess I'm just more saying, can we just stop having this conversation to some extent? And when the technology and the costs have gone down, then I mean, I'm sure everyone's going to be on board. And not to say,
I'm sorry, John.
I'm just, you know what I mean? It's like, it's great and all, but it's, I don't know. It's just, I guess I've been, the fool me once, the saying is just coming to mind with this. I mean,
I hear you. I kind of disagree in part. I agree with the general sentiment that a lot of times we are running into a brick wall in terms of the practical considerations right now. And I totally understand that. And I don't think you're wrong. The thing is, though, if we stop talking about it, we're not going to move the needle, move the dial. And the truth of the matter is, we should be moving the dial eventually, because eventually it's going to end up not only being better for the environment, but honestly, it's going to end up saving us money. The truth of it is, if we don't push, it's just not going to happen. I mean, frankly, the police department earlier this year or last year, purchased 10 hybrid vehicles, which I'm pretty sure is one of, if not the first time they did that. It's not to say that it's impossible. It's not to say it's all electric or nothing. It's just saying we need to be more actively thinking about this. And frankly, I'm already pleased by the fact that Ken showed up to the meeting having prepared on this issue already. It's not like Ken didn't. It would be one issue if like Ken and Robert didn't like do the homework, but they did. The problem is we're running up against an issue. And so I don't feel like we're having the exact same discussion over and over again, except to say that, like, for example, I remember there was an application for, Ken, forgive me, but it was a much bigger truck. I think it was to haul like
the mowers,
debris or mowers or something. And like, I'm not going to put up an argument about that because the technology is not there yet. But on something like a van, it seems more reasonable. So I don't think we should stop talking about it. I do agree, though, that there are certainly these sort of practical run-ins that we just have to deal with and try and come up with the best solution to, achieve the broader goal, which is to get a greener vehicle fleet.
And I think. Oh, no, go ahead. I was gonna say, I think one of the things that needs to be addressed, which gets glossed over quite often, is our infrastructure. We're working out of a parks garage that was built in the late 50s. When they never even heard of electric vehicles. And now we're going to be asked to possibly plug in 3, 4, 5 electric vehicles. Yeah. So, that's kind of a whole different side of this that needs to be addressed, and it is going to cost money.
Not only that, but electric blowers, electric other equipment. Really the deal here is, it's just like our master plan. And we're creating a master plan for Parks and Recreation. It's when you get the draft master plan, it's going to have a financial section in it that said this master plan is going to cost this much money. And how do you phase in this money? Because we don't have the money, but how do you get to it? In the same way, you have to do a sustainability program for fleets, for all equipment. There has to be a conversion master plan to get you there, whether it's 20, 25, 30 years. And attached to that, you have a financial goal and how you get there. I hate to keep talking about Seattle, but that's where I'm from. But in Seattle, we had a 25-year plan back in 2016 to electrify, to go green. And it outlined, we didn't have the money, but it outlined how much money it would cost with all kind of escalation factors on it. But it gives us a pathway to get to where we need to go. And really that's what we need. We need an overall goal of sustainability plan. Not only fleets, equipment, all the things that are going to get us to a zero footprint, carbon footprint. And then we follow that plan in as much as we can finance it. And so that's really what we need instead of these one-offs and, you know, we're doing this here, but it may not fit that here the next year. That it's a comprehensive plan. And sometimes you have to bring in the experts to really put a little bit of money with that and get it done. And I think that's what they're thinking about with these resilient and sustainability workshops. But that's really the way you go, because if you don't have a plan, it's like Heidi said, it's always brought up again and again and again.
Yep.
You know.
I have to say, I agree with everything that I've heard. I think we have to keep talking about it to keep it relevant and on everyone's mind. But with all that talking, we need to have a plan, and not just for one department. The city needs to have we need to know the actual number of our fleet, fire, police, you know, DPW, everyone that has, even city employees drive cars. So the white cars that we ride around in, right, they're still gas. So what does our real fleet, what does the city fleet really look like? And each department should more than likely go through that process that Robert spoke of. What's the 5, 10, 15-year projection? How do we put that in? Prices are always changing. Who gets it first? Like where are the priorities like of need? And that, you know, I think we're doing it in departments, but it's a city fleet, right? It's all city owned, you know, assets, and we've got to really look at that in a broader way than just department by department.
Right.
But hopefully we'll get there. Okay. 511. There we are. Authorize the purchasing agent to issue a purchase order for the sole source purchase of the installation of additional play equipment at Ludlow Park by M.E. O'Brien and Sons for a price not to exceed $254,045.75 from account number noted. Got that one?
Yep. So, Madam Chair, this is part of the DEEP grant, the $4.5 million given to us through the state. So part of that grant was some improvements at Ludlow Park, which included an extension of the existing playground.
Okay. All right. Any questions for Ken on this? Okay. 512, approve the use of Veterans Park Visitors Dock by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to dock its research vessel during the summer of 2023. That's pretty straightforward. How long will it be docked? Entire summer? It's why am I doing that? Do you see that? I'm breaking up. I don't know why that's happening. That's
like
the
you're
second
teleporting.
time. I'd like to. Oh my gosh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, this is.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
There you are.
There you go. Ken, you can take this up. I think it's you.
Yep. Delene, is anyone here for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service? I can speak on that. But
No, there's not.
Okay, so we last time we did this was prior to COVID. So the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service docks a research vessel at Vets Park for, I believe, a month and a half, and so that actually serves us well for several reasons. Number one, they sleep on the boat, so they're there 24/7. So they keep an eye on the park, keep an eye on the parking lot, and we also use the opportunity to have them go out to our islands, and they do a bunch of cleanup and reporting back to us on what's going on with the islands. The Parks Department does not have a boat, so we actually use this opportunity to have access, to the islands. So this is a win-win, for us and also for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
That's interesting. Do recreation and parks departments usually have a boat if they're so close to the water?
So years ago, we had a boat, but it was such an old boat, it sort of fell apart. So now we have to hitch a ride from the PD, fire, or somebody else if we need to get out to the islands.
Yeah, usually if you have an aquatics program and you normally have a boat. But like Ken said, they did have a boat at one time.
Another thing to put on the wish list. Okay, 513, approve the Department of Recreation and Parks fee and charges schedule as presented. Well, we don't have to even, we talked about that. 14, approve the Art Goldblatt Memorial Patio area at the Oak Hills Tennis Center.
I think we should put this off until somebody from Oak Hills can actually be here to speak. Yeah, I talked to Tom a little bit, and I told him I thought we should put it off until then. Yeah.
All right, so now we're on to the discussion piece.
Madam Chair, we also have the addition to the agenda. I don't think we moved. Did we vote on the?
It's not enough of us to vote, though.
We can bring forward.
Yeah,
I know we added to the agenda, but okay, as long as it goes forward, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so now on to
the discussion.
The discussion.
The discussion was about the Black Walk
And Tanner
Commission.
texted me saying he had to go to a different meeting.
Yeah, and it was really, we wanted to put this on last time, so it kind of stayed on. Before we wanted to put this on before we actually brought it forward. We were able to get the special events stuff done. We were able to get a lot of things done. They still have to go to the traffic authority, but that's kind of their last stop. But this event was actually, we had everybody on the committee. We had James and his group from transportation. You know, we had Parks was there, and then the Bike Walk Commission. And we also, on the last meeting, we had the Norwalk Police Department. So it was planned very well. So we think we got everything together for this event.
Do you think he's going to do another full presentation once this is with the streets outlined and the rest?
Yeah, he's going to do that to the traffic authority.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
but we put this on to go forward, hopefully.
All right.
Madam Chair.
Any questions about that? Oh, can you add something?
No. I just want to mention something quickly about parking that we heard in the public comment. So when a vehicle parks up at Cranberry Park, Calf Pasture Beach, any one of our sites that are paid parking, a resident doesn't know if that vehicle is a resident, a non-resident, if they paid via the app, if they had paid via the kiosk and they parked, or if they have a season pass. So the beauty of LAS is it keeps people honest. So if you go up to Cranberry Park, although you don't see LAS for an hour, 2 hours, you don't know when they're going to be there. And we do that intentionally. We don't have a set schedule when the park is patrolled. So that's all done systematically and intentionally. So I can guarantee you based on our traffic numbers that the system's working, and we have seen a consistent increase in the number of not only season passes that are purchased by non-residents, but also by paid daily parkers who have the ability to pay by the walk-up kiosks or through the Park mobile app.
Okay.
And I think also, Ken, that there may be other ideas on how to police it better, or have park rangers. And we don't have people that can enforce, and we just don't have an enforcement except for ticketing. But when we sit down with the fees and charges folks, we're going to ask them a bunch of questions. Not only when the questionnaire is developed for them to have the focus groups, we're going to talk about how we can do better with non-residents, we know we don't charge residents a lot, but we'll still investigate that as well. And try and come up with a structure that is more appropriate and that makes more sense. So that, I mean, that's why we're doing this study. We're paying a lot of money for the study, but we hope to have a lot of answers and a lot of ideas to come back to you guys with to implement. And so, but until we can have an enforcement arm like park rangers, the parking, last parking people, they're going to be in and out. So it's going to be hard really to tie down anyone or catch anyone or make people pay more because they're from a different jurisdiction. It's just going to be difficult. But it's something everybody faces. It's just a matter of resources.
Thank you, Mr. Stowers. All right, so I think that concludes our agenda for this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will move these items forward to the full council. And I think that is it. So we are adjourning. Have a good night,
night.
everybody.
Have a good night.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Enjoy the
night.
weather.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Take care.